Hello, welcome back to the bottom. My name is Beast. Today we're back with more ToHeart2. No. Whoops. Don't know how long I'll be recording today, because I have to wake up early tomorrow for grocery shopping, as I so often do. However, more importantly, remember I said I had like a weird fucking desire to just eat croutons? I have some. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the shit. Now I'm actually gonna save that for after the recording, but I just wanted to show off here. Yeah, there's book storage. The case she brings along with the black tea seems strange. Sure, that'll be lovely. Manaka offers me tea, and she brings out another plate and lays it on the table. Those are cookies? No, that's not quite right. Sparkling slices of almond are laid out on the rectangular cloth. They look pretty good. What are these called again? I've seen them before, but I forgot what they were called. Huh? Is that what they're called? I remember seeing them in a Western-style confectionery, but I don't recall ever finding out what they were called. Itadakimasu. Pick up a single flow lantern and bring it towards my wide-open mouth. Manaka glances at me, looking more tensed up than usual, eagerly awaiting my verdict. Mind goes blank and my hands freeze while on final approach. What's with that intense expression? Manaka gets flustered at my reaction. It's nothing, it's just the way she's holding her breath in anticipation. How do you spike with some kind of drug? What are you doing? Manaka finally realizes how much she's leaning forward in anticipation. She quickly initiates damage control. No, I like it that way. Even I can see through her bluff. Despite my suspicions, I finally decide to take a bite. Manaka immediately leans forward again. But hang on. I've barely begun chewing. Tasty. Manaka analyzes me intently, so she doesn't miss even the slightest change in my expression. Really? Do I need to write out some kind of report on this? The texture is soft and full body. The caramel is chewy and the almonds are sweet. That's right, there's a flow lantern, alright. However, something feels off. Did you make these? Tastes different, as though it was prepared by hand. Manaka immediately hung her head. Of course not, it's very tasty. I just noticed that it tastes different from the ones you get in the stores. Not at all, these are amazing. You have baking equipment here? Look around the archives. He shrugs, downplaying her talent. They're really tasty. Well, if you want the ones from stores, you can buy them from the stores. There's something good about it tasting different. Once Manaka gets depressed, it takes her ages to recover. Ah, jeez, what should I say? I decide to tell her what I really think. You should make more. Manaka finally nods with a sweet smile on her face. Tea time's over, back to work. However, Manaka's acting a little strange. She seems overly concerned about what I'm doing. Put down the barcodes for a moment and approach the bookshelf she's working at. I peer at her face through a crack in the bookshelf. What's wrong? She looks startled. I'm pretty sure it's something. I pause so she can explain. Her eyes are down. What do you mean? Monica frantically retracts her words. However, she continues the discussion with even more bookshelves between us.
お菓子とか作ってくれる子いないの？
Nope.
いるんでしょ？
Said I haven't.
でも妹さん。
Konomi is not my little sister, and she's terrible at cooking.
好みちゃん。
He says it slowly, as if trying to burn it into her memory. The cakes were really tasty,
高
though.
明くん優しいな。これって妹さんがいるから？
You're very hung up on that. I said she's not my little sister.
みたいなもので羨ましいな。仲のいい兄弟がいるって。
Well, that's not what I have, and it's not very fun
そ
either.
れは身近にいるから。
Don't have any brothers or sisters? Monica suddenly
い
falls.
ません。
Face
や
darkens.
っぱり何もかも裏返しってわけじゃないよね。
What's that supposed to mean? Monica turns to me and opens her mouth for
委員会の用事あるから今日はここまででいいかな。ごめんね。高明くんにはせっかく来てもらったのに。
I'm the one who should be apologizing and came to help, but all I managed to do was eat.
それじゃあごめん。急ぐから。
We quickly part ways in front of the archive. Monica immediately runs off. She was short on time. If she was short on time, why didn't she just take the day off from the start? Did she come here just to serve me slow lanterns? I feel like we barely put in any effort today. I don't want to leave it at that. I don't just go to the library now. People don't usually come to the library after school hours. It's deathly quiet. Unnerved by the absence of life, I sneak in.
わかりました、委員長。
A voice. My ears prick up and I turn to where the sound came from. Third year calls Monica to the front entrance. This is related to the library committee. I have a bad feeling about this, so turn back and try to make my escape before my cover is blown.
君
Can't hear you, can't hear you. Pretending to not hear him, I continue walking towards the exit. However, he soon starts following me briskly. There's no way I can escape now without drawing attention.
避けなくていいよ。君には話しておきたいことがあるから。どうせ事情は知らないんだろ。
Circumstances. Stop walking. Look at his shoes. He's a third year.
それとも逃げてる？
What? I'm surrounded by concerned committee members. They look like they're bracing themselves for something.
正直僕たちも困ってるのさ。小牧くんの行動についてはね。何も知らずに手伝っているようだけど、彼女のやっていることは正式な作業じゃないんだよ。それどころかむしろ図書委員会の決定を妨害するものでね。
Interference. I don't know where this discussion is
近
headed.
々書庫内の蔵書については大幅な整理が予定されている。利用者の極端に少ない書籍については思い切って破棄。余った棚は夏から入庫する CD のスペースとする。これは全校生徒の意思でもあるんだ。 CD の貸し出し開始は図書室への要望の中でも圧倒的でね。小牧くんの考えもわからないではない。でも図書室は利用者の便宜を図ってこそだと思わないか？手間がかかるばかりで必要とされないものを保存しておいて何になる？それよりも CD を入れた方が利用者は増える。より図書室としての責務を果たすことになるんだ。そのあたり君からも小牧くんに説明してくれないかな。友達なんだろ？
That's more than enough. Despite explanation, I still don't understand. I feel like I need to think this over for a while. If you'll excuse me, take my leave after a minimal show of courtesy. I'm still fazed by what he said as I make my way home. All the progress we made for nothing. Is that really true? What if Monica decided to continue the sorting because I offered my help? Would you have stopped on her own if I hadn't decided to go to the archives that day? What if that's the case? No, it's wrong. I suddenly realized there had been 2 teacups right from the start. That room wasn't meant for guests. Even if its doors were to close, they would never refuse entry to anyone seeking a warm cup of tea. My existence isn't a burden on Monica, that's what I believe. The chairman's words still nagging at the back of my mind. Just need to check with Monica to confirm his words tomorrow. Even if I ask her, she probably won't answer me directly. That's how she is. It doesn't matter either way. Sooner or later, I'm sure she'll explain everything. And we're back to the 7 Seas. God damn it. Empty. Huh. Curious. Alright. Bet. Let's see how many days it'll take this time. Hold on, just, you know, opening good old Mahjong Soul. Oh, not the nightmare again. Nightmare, 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 nightmare. Skip. Friendly match. Create room. Battle of Ashura. Great. Yep, still nothing. Add AI. Start. Skip. I'm going to fucking scream. I literally just started the goddamn... Leave room! Just leave room. I'm just gonna put it aside like this. Who fucking cares? I'm a man. Book storage! Myself, Takaki Kono, and the class president, Manaka-Komaki. Through sheer will, or maybe pure coincidence, we're both aware of our weakness with the opposite sex and have pledged to work together to conquer all that stands in our way. So far, our progress has been clearly visible within the archives, that is. Huh? The entrance to the archives is closed. That's strange, Manaka usually gets here before me. Try turning the doorknob and pulling once more. Doesn't budge. As I shake the knob, a scrap of paper falls to the ground. It's been sandwiched in the crack of the door. Pick it up and open it. I'm in the library. Nothing else is written on it. Is this from Manaka? Seems like Manaka's handwriting. It's not like her to leave an unsigned note, though. Did you forget? The door locked. I have no choice but to turn towards the library. I scanned the area from the library entrance, but Manaka's nowhere to be found. Maybe the note wasn't from Manaka after all. Continue looking for her as I head deeper into the library. There she is. I can make out Manaka seated before a computer terminal. I'm lucky I didn't miss her, sitting in a cramped booth like that. Head is on the table. Is she asleep? That's not a very Incho-like thing to do, is it? Feel the urge to play some kind of prank on her. Quietly sneak up behind her. Oh my god, don't sleep in class. I whisper into Manaka's ear, trying my best to sound like a teacher. An instant reaction. I suppose she wasn't really asleep after all. In that case, why was she slouching like that? Look at what she's holding in her hand, and I see a bag of broiled sweet chestnuts. Was she gorging herself on these? Monica frantically hands the bag of nuts. Yeah? Why didn't you write who it was to or from? Ah, of course. I know how she feels. Still, it's a little depressing thinking that she'd be embarrassed by someone seeing her writing me a message. She points towards the window to draw my attention. However, I'm not fooled. It was merely a distraction, so I wouldn't see her tossing another nut in her mouth with a blissful smile on her face. She quickly swallows it when she notices me staring at her suspiciously. Honest God, it would have been more hilarious if you looked over at the window and just caught the nut in her as she's throwing it into her mouth, like, thanks. You really shouldn't eat in the library. She pounds her chest, trying to swallow the nut as she struggles to hold back tears. Eventually, she settles down with a pout on her face. She mumbles quietly, sorry. While laughing, I sit down in the booth next to Monika's and look over at her. What were you doing? Monika answers concisely. Club. Have you been forced to take on even more work? What is it this time? Alright. Besides being class president, she's part of the literary club too. Strangely, she's not part of the library committee despite spending so much time here. You got the short straw? So you're forced in. Allocation of work without consent. Sounds pretty much the same to me. Well, I'm sure they'll check her work for any mistakes later. So what are you writing on? She taps her fists on the table. The habit struck me as strange at first, but I'm used to it by now. You're not writing something original? She fumbles for words before hastily shutting her mouth.
私は読むの専門だからさ。
She says while waving a hand to cool down her face, which had turned a brilliant shade of red. Suspicious. She's very insistent. So, you haven't written anything original? Not even once? Isn't that what the club's supposed to be about?
いやいや、本当にダメ。
Monica makes it clear that this isn't something I should be bringing up, not for a long time. Yeah, okay. I really shouldn't be distracting her from her work like this. I give up on the topic. Since I'm here, I might as well read a book. And recommendations.
どういうのがいいの？
One with lots of pictures and not much text.
漫画は置いてないよ。
After scavenging a suitable collection of short stories, I return to where Monica is. I don't sit in the booth with the terminal this time, but instead stop at a table behind her. Monica stares at the terminal screen while playing with a sharpener between her fingers. She doesn't appear to be making much progress. Her chin rests on her hand. Did you just prod her nostril with a pen? Don't fall asleep now, you hear?
眠くないってば。
Your eyes look drowsy.
生まれつきだよ。
Monica puffs out her cheeks and takes out a student notebook. It's an essential item for a forgetful person like Monica. They barely have extra pages to write stuff down. However, it seems like she's running out of space. She reaches out to the bag at her feet and takes out a notebook. Huh. My eyes are inadvertently drawn to a piece of fancy paper wrapping. I crane my neck for a better view. Noticing my gaze, Monica hastily stuffs the package back into her bag. Her mouth quivers as she tries to gauge my expression. Her reaction makes me feel even more curious. Pretending not to notice, I look back at my book. But it's on my mind. What's it for me? Probably not. If that's the case, why'd you get so flustered when I saw it? Who was it for? I tried to get another look, but her bag is zipped shut. Don't fall asleep. Guess I have no choice but to tease her
う
again.
ーん、寝てない。
Book storage. It's tea time. My work has been going smoothly so far. How'd the check-in go?
もう原稿アップしたから。
What was that stuff about again? Birthdays, right? I make my move. How was that? Rather clever way of bringing up the topic if I do say so myself. Monica nods. Suddenly your face grows
子
serious.
供の頃、誕生日にはどんなプレゼントをもらったことある？
I'm not sure how our conversation jumped to this point. It's almost as though Monica read my mind. I
子
hesitate.
供の頃って本当に欲しいものをもらった記憶ってないの？
Yeah, I know how you feel. Adults don't really know what children want to do
私
there.
の場合、子供の頃からプレゼントといえばなぜか本ばかりで、他のものが欲しくても、マナカは本が好きだもんねと言われると何も言えなくて、それはそれで悪くはなかったんだけど、
Mother's expression clouds
3
over.
日後、同じ本が図書館に入っていて、それはショックだった。
Yikes. Monica sighs, breaking up the steam wafting in front
欲
of
し
her.
いものっていくら似てても意味がなくなっちゃうのよね。
I know what you mean. When I was a kid, all I wanted were robot anime toys, but to the adults, all robots looked the same. So they'd buy them for me, and I would go, "These don't even match!" Get pissed off. Tried selling the ones I didn't want, but didn't make enough money to buy the ones that did match. And there were some that I couldn't recognize at all. Could have at least asked me if I'd seen the anime first. Yeah, don't you agree?
それはさておき、
Yes, you weren't really into that stuff as a
お
kid.
茶のおかわりはいかが？
Yes, please. I bow and give her my teacup. Birthday, huh? Speaking of which, I wonder when Monica's birthday is. Is it coming up soon? Is that why she brought up the topic, or am I overthinking it?
お待たせしました。
Yeah, thanks. Take teacups for tea. You know, when's your birthday? Monica freezes on the spot. Yeah, your birthday.
そんな。
Today? She stirs her cup aimlessly while her face
別
goes
にいい
red.
ってば。
She won't spit it out. Must be really close. I mean, get it out of her. Don't you want me to know?
いや、決してそんなことは。
Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude.
いや、その
No, really, forget it. As I say that, a shiver runs down her body. She almost looks like she needs to pee. Finally, with her head bowed and her voice that was barely a whisper.
明日
Tomorrow. Her face goes red as she nods. That's tomorrow!
別に催促してたわけじゃ、本当気にしなくていいから。
How am I supposed to respond to that?
じゃあ、そろそろ片付けるね。
Monica hurriedly gets up to leave. Can't just leave it like this. I have to say something. You
は
know,
い。
do I want to go watch a movie tomorrow?
はい。
Her eyes lock for a moment that seems to stretch on forever. Then we both gulp simultaneously. Sorry, I'm sure that would be a bother. I forget I asked.
いえ、そんなことは。
Monica shakes her head, trembling. Don't you have plans? It is your birthday, after all.
大丈夫。
So it's settled? Brief moment of hesitation, my heart sinks, but finally Monica nods. Date time. Skip. That's auto, not skip. My toes wriggle nervously under the desk. I'm nervous too. I fidgeted in my chair. How long have I been in this classroom? I glanced at the clock again, but it seems like it's inching along slower than usual. I feel like I'm being mocked by an inanimate object. There's nothing I can do, so I continue to endure. Classes can't last forever. I can hear a physical education class cheering from the school grounds. Today is Monica's birthday. I promised to watch a movie with her after school, but we decided to meet up at Archives first. As expected, the thought of the two of us leaving school together was too embarrassing to bear. That's one issue we'll have to tackle together, but that can wait. Oh, also completely off topic, but found a couple of fucking videos today that I've been watching essentially all day. Hold on, let me just pull a mute. Just need the toy tools. I mean, that one's an older one, just a salami-only challenge where you have to beat the game using only salamis as weapons. Then one of them that I found was where was it? Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate without attacking. Baldur's Gate without long resting. Okay, you don't get to long rest. You only get 2 short rests for the entire fucking game. And anytime the game forces you to long rest, you immediately have to use up your resources to the point where you were last at before you long rested. So let's say you're a fighter that has used up one of your weapon attacks and like one of your weapon special attacks and one action surge, and you are forced to long rest. You immediately have to use that weapon attack, that special attack, and as action surge, so you no longer have it. So you're back to where you were before the long rest. And you're also not allowed to heal from it. If you know a long rest is a forced long rest is coming, you immediately have to heal yourself with healing pods beforehand. Then one is Baldur's Gate without dodging, where he had just modded every enemy to have a plus 99 to hit. So he virtually just can't be missed. And takes all the fucking hits. And one of them is the good old level 1 challenge, which that one's a bitch in a game like Baldur's Gate. There's another one that's literally just using only one ability, which in order to have utility, they chose throw, which makes sense. And of course there's the without killing anything. That one's a fucking classic. Yeah, that's it. As expected, the thought of the two of us leaving school together was too embarrassing to bear. There's another issue we'll have to tackle together, but that can wait. Finally, the bell signals the end of the period. I glance at Monica as I leap out of my seat. Our eyes met. A split second later, we look away. I quickly arrive at the archives with Monica, who seems to be out of breath. Monica's always saying stuff like that, even though we were together in class just moments ago. Don't be, I just got here too. I decide to not say anything more. But wait, forget something. We don't need to prepare for a visit to the cinema, but we still can scan the archives with our eyes. Feel goosebumps, probably due to how nervous I feel. Man, the situation really makes me feel nervous. Did I mention that I feel nervous? Alright, shall we go? We leave through the rear of the archives. The two of us walk side by side. There's a bit of distance between us as we walk down the corridor. It's not clear which one of us caused that gap to appear. We leave through the school gate and head down the hill. Relief washes over us as we cut through a sea of unfamiliar faces.
何の映画なんです？
A war movie, but it has some funny parts too and a few tear-jerking moments. Production company isn't too famous, but I've heard good things about it. Oh, and the lead actor is someone I'm a huge fan of. What was it called again? I can't remember its name. My mind goes blank as I try to remember the title from the advertisement I saw Manaka raise her voice.
それ知ってます。ちょうど私も見たかったんですよ。
Well, it seemed like the kind of movie you'd take a girl to, but there aren't any other good choices.
そうですね。その手のはみんなゴールデンウィークに風切りですから。
Wow, what a huge crowd. Both of our eyes widen at the flood of people surrounding the
大
theater.
丈夫でしょうか？
Yeah, I reserved seats in advance just in case. Wait here a moment. I head to the theater entrance, praying I'll be able to find her again amongst the crowd. There's still time before it starts, but I still have to go and pay for the tickets I reserved. I need to make my way past this snaking queue of people to reach the special ticket booth for reserved seats. Louise's feet. I look back to where Monica was standing, and she's still there in the middle of the street all alone. Damn it, I know I told her to wait there, but she could have at least walked into a shop to escape the crowd. I struggle to keep Monica in sight as people walk past. As I stand in queue, I continue glancing at her. Monica's trying to do the same thing by standing on tippy toes to look at me. Eventually I managed to get our tickets and head back, but Monica's nowhere to be found. No, she was here. What was she thinking? She must have tried to walk to me. Petite frame probably got swept up by the crowd. My jaw drops when I consider the possibility that she might have fallen. Excuse me! Move back, please! I slowly make my way through the crowd and head into the theater. Cutting through the lines of people, I spot her. I reach my hand out to Monica, bobbing up and down nearby. Feel her soft skin against my palm and cling onto it. I pull it towards me and firmly grasp her delicate shoulders. With sweat pouring down her face, Monica looks up at me, gasping, and manages a
こん
smile.
なに人がいっぱいいるところで手をつないだの。初めてだよね。
I smile back at her. I wonder if that's the first time I've done that in such a crowded place too. Stuck in the crowd, Monica takes the ticket in her hand and stares at it. Still plenty of
ヤ
time.
ックに入ってる？
Guess so.
躍動って言わないよ。
No, I understood you. Finally, a place to sit down. I realize how much time we spent standing in that crowd. Let out a sigh of relief.
上映まであと食べてる時間を考えたらあまり余裕なさそう。
Monica smiles
急がない
sweetly.
とね。
Despite being embarrassed, she's in a very good mood. Her smile almost seems strange. I wasn't sure whether she'd be pleased, but she looks like she's having fun. I'm so glad I invited her, really. With red cheeks and wide smiles, we dig into our food. Man reflexively shoots out to stop a paper cup from falling over. It didn't stop a few drops of juice from falling on the table, though.
ごめんなさい。
Monica frankly reaches out to wipe her with her handkerchief. I hand her a paper napkin from the tray to use instead. Monica takes the napkin and then shrinks
緊
apologetically.
張しちゃって。私デートって初めてだから。
Eh? Monica's words take me by surprise. But why? I was the one who invited her here today. We went out all the time to buy stuff, but not this time. Being here now, at the same table like this, what does this mean for us? What's more, today is Monica's birthday. When I realize how significant this is, my face blushes even more furiously than before. Crap, I can't stop thinking about it.
高木くんどうしたの？急に。やだ。
My face grows even redder. We're always working together in the archives, enjoying tea together, but calling this a date so openly makes me feel overly conscious about it. This isn't too different from what we usually do. It's just different on the surface, but the contents are still the same. I struggle to convince myself of this. In the end, we end up going to the cinema without being able to look each other in the eyes again. Fucking adorable, man. The movie is over. As we go outside, Monica lets out the breath she was holding.
よかったよ。
She says while rubbing her eyes with a tightly gripped handkerchief. The movie ended with the protagonist preserving a lie so the hopes of the townfolk wouldn't die. truly was a poignant tale, but it had its fair share of magical moments. Yeah, but it wasn't too gloomy for a war movie.
特にラスト、あれがもう。
Yeah, that was a bit unfair. I was really hooked by that part. Couldn't help but smile after that, though.
ずっと我慢してたのに、あれできちゃった。
Monica wipes her face and keeps sniffling. Her handkerchief looks drenched. Yeah, weren't you sobbing right from the
そん
beginning?
なことないよ。
She puffs her cheeks out at me, all while wiping her face, which is literally overflowing with tears. Enough already. I hand her my own handkerchief. Monica's eyes widen at my gesture before bashfully taking my
あ
handkerchief.
りがと
It's just a handkerchief, don't worry
う。
about it. Monica shakes
ま
her
だ
head.
ちゃんと言ってなかったから。
So, what is it? Monica stands on her toes as much as she can and looks up
高
at me.
明くん、
She then bows.
誘ってくれてありがとう。
Oops. She smiles with tears in her eyes. Crap. Hope it's too dark for her to see me blushing. No. I bow back to her. It was my pleasure. The two of us bowing to each other in the middle of the street like characters from a play. We smile again to hide our embarrassment, paying no heed to how we appear to anyone else.
今日は本当に楽しかった。
Can I invite you out again? And finally, the day that was just a little more enjoyable than usual draws to an end. Go out already! You know what? Nah, not go out already. Just fuck already. Oh. I think it was around this time where in both Yume's route and Sasura's route, she came up to us in a separate scene and was like, hey, you don't gotta go to the archives anymore. They take over. So that should be approaching, so that's probably going to be the drama. Anyways, our work in the archives doesn't really follow a fixed schedule. Today it felt like a dictionary day, so we decided to carry a few heavy dictionaries over. It's not exactly an easy task. Carry one of them in both hands and pile them up on the cart. In the meantime, Monica pouts.
私ももうちょっと体力があったらな。
Monica rolls up her sleeves. Her upper arm looks as soft as marshmallows. What would you do if you were?
競争用の自転車でも買ってどこにでも行っちゃうんだから。
Racing bicycle.
すごく軽くてすごく速いの。この前なんかヘルメットかぶった外人が車を追い越してたんだから。
Oh, hey, it's if my heart had wings were protagonist. Monica brings her hands together and imitates a pro cyclist. I'm not convinced. Nah, no matter what, an engine would be faster.
本当だってば。
Must have been a really slow car.
私でも学校前の坂くらいだったらスイスイね。
Monica indulges herself in this fantasy for a moment. You'll walk
う
here.
ん、バス。
Love a bicycle too. I'm tired of walking up the damn hill every day.
卒業したらバイクの免許取るんだから。
Aiming for the stars again. I don't know of any bike lanes there. The thought of Monica on even a motorized scooter is enough to make me worry. Monica breaks out of her trance and looks at me
免許
inquisitively.
持ってる？
Nah, can't. School regulations forbid students from getting a license.
そう？私が男だったら今すぐにでも取りに行くよ。
Personally, I'd rather Monica remain a girl. She's too perfect to be anything else.
維持費込みならバスや電車と費用はトントンらしいけどね。
She pokes her tongue out and shrugs. I didn't even bother working out the money I didn't even bother working out the money you save from fears, but I'm not surprised in the slightest that Monica did so.
でも
Monica narrows her eyes, focusing intently on the far
好きな
sunset.
時に好きなところへ行けるっていいよね。
That's true. Skip. Nothing. Quack. Start. Friendly match create room. Motherfucker. The day of the school excursion. But it didn't show up in Sasa, the scene where she says no need to show up at the room at the archives anymore, so Sasa's route stops here, you know. The usual face and company. Despite being the school excursion, I failed at getting a substitute. I know it was already decided, but I want to at least thank you once. Why are you in the same group as mine? Ask you once.
それはこっちのセリフだ。なんで俺たちの班には女の子がいないんだよ。
Not because you're in here. That must be because of your leering nature.
いや違う。それはお前が女の子苦手なんですなんてキャラなのが原因だ。そのせいでお前とは付き合いにくいって女の子が逃げてくんだよ。責任取れ、責任。
What
お
responsibility?
前の童顔なら女は十分引っ掛けられる。今から 2,3 人見繕ってこい。
So-called good-looking... You're the so-called good-looking guy. You should provide him.
俺は性格がプログレッシブだから20世紀生まれの女には受けが良くねえんだよ。
What the hell's that? It's the helpless irritation we feel. But the energy is far too overpowering. We even ignore the onlookers continue our futile argument. However, there are limits to the energy. After 10 minutes, we're distraught. I'm tired before we depart.
バスに乗らずこのまま家に帰ろうぜ。
I'm not interested in historical landmarks.
俺たちモボだから現地の女の子と話し合わないし。
Both sides.
どうすんだよ。なんか人生虚しくなってきたぞ。
Are we gonna spend our whole lives like this?
一生ってのは遠慮したいな。
To be honest, I might say I'm uncomfortable with girls, but I'd love for me to end life surrounded by cute grandchildren.
今のままだと分裂でもしない限り無理だな。
Are we gonna die lonely?
孤独死だな。
Why the fuck are we getting a CG of him? Yuji's a close friend. There are some things out of control, but I think he's a friend prone to exaggeration. However, precisely because he's a friend, there are things that normally cannot be trespassed, and some thoughts that we cannot elaborate on that we can lay out. And beyond limits of what oaths people swear in the name of friendship, there are also limitations to what one can expect. Things can't go on like this forever, whether you wish for it or not. It will end someday. Someday. Yuji! I grab Yuji by the shoulder and say, us two, we're friends.
Huh?
We'll remain friends forever.
ちょっと
Did
待
I,
て。
did I accidentally end up on the wrong route? Yuji! Did I fuck up somewhere? I fucked up somewhere! No! I actually fucked up somewhere, got the Yuji ending. Oh my fucking god. Oh, fuck off. Okay. Okay, apparently you needed a different choice somewhere. Or something. How was that the Yuji ending? The vibes between the two were so fucking good. What the fuck do you mean? Manaka-Route Guide. Okay, start Takaki Kono. Start skipping. No. You know what? I'll pause real quick here. BRB. Okay, I've gotten to a point where she shows up again after another choice. This time I didn't stop Yuji from peeking, so... Yeah, anyway.
今、ユマが来てたみたいですけど。
Komiki came over in the confusion and was also carrying her tests. Yuji casually peeked over her back. Managed to catch a glimpse of her scores too.
俺たちの争いはなんて低レベルだったんだ。
Maybe this might actually be the necessary step that I needed.
話なんですか？
Just the knowledge that she is smart. Anyways, BRB. Okay, back here, because apparently I'm supposed to say probably pink here for some reason. Probably pink.
そっか。
But I don't know why. I finally noticed Tommen is intently looking at a nearby shop. That boutique. Now it's back to normal? No, hang on. That's an underwear counter. A women's specialty store. A man would be
ピンクって言うと、このフリフリな下着よね。なるほど。高坊はフリフリむっつりですと。
Wait, just a moment.
タカ君、こういうの好きなんだ。
Now we can skip again. BRB. Okay, the next choice that differs. Answer invasively instead of just telling him. I'm thinking about stuff. Look, there's a lot of stuff to like this one. Like, there's a lot of stuff to trouble both of us at this age.
ああ、なるほど。お前もついに目覚めたってわけだ。わかってるって。パンツだろ？覗きたかったんだな。でも、ここじゃダメだぞ。角度がまずい。おすすめはだな。
Let me tell you what troubles me. Listen to me.
照れんなよ。親友だろ？
You've got it all wrong. Stop giving me that familiar look. Back to skipping.
高木。
Back to skipping. Alright, next choice. We're not even gonna meet Yuki this time. No going to school to get our fucking report. Forget it. Go to sleep. Well, can't do much about it this hour. Let's forget about the report due tomorrow and head back to sweet, sweet sleep. Oh. And back skipping. Alright, I'm not back to a part where we need to pick something else. However, I just wanted to show y'all because what the fuck's going on here? Shit is full. Anyways, BRB. Alright, we got a new scene. Classes have just begun and I already feel plagued by nasty bout of drowsiness. At this rate, I'll pass out in class. It's important of ways to construct something to prop up my head. Using stationery, my classmates come running in and inform us that the next physical education class is cancelled. Usually the others have already pulled out a deck of cards. Is it gonna be poker, blackjack, or mahjong? Drowned in noise, the sleep I so desperately crave moves further out of reach. There's a good chance that the teacher from the adjacent classroom will come back and tell us to settle down. I need to find another spot. Head towards the library in search of a good spot to rest my head. Oh, upon entering the library, I immediately spot Yuma on the magazine section. What? Trying to turn around, but it's already too late. Looks like she's spotted me too. Why is she here? Probably because physical education was cancelled. Yuma hides her surprise and snorts, looking at me. I was just about to tell her the same thing. I casually look at the magazine she's holding as he picks up porcelain cups and other tableware inside. Didn't know we were into that kind of stuff. Yuma slams the magazine down, shut on the table. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Oh, that's how we find out about, this time we find out about Monaka's birthday early. Shh. I'm pointing to the fact that we're in the library. Yuma frantically shuts her mouth. She stares daggers at me. Fuck you, her eyes seem to say. Then she suddenly seems to recall something and stops glaring at me. Well, yeah. Monica and her are very close. Even though I never talked to her about Monica, there's no point hiding it now. I nod ambiguously. Told me what? What is it? She smiles smugly. Moments pass before she finally decides to answer me. Huh? This time it's me who needs to shut up. I don't want to hear that from you. But wait, are you serious? Can't believe that. Monika's happiness is top priority for her. However, Monika hasn't mentioned this to me at all. I wonder how she'd react if I handed her a surprise present. Hang on, in that case, was the package I saw in her bag yesterday a present she received early? But for who? Don't tell me, guy. Spear begins to well up within my heart. Was Monika even planning to tell me her birthday at all? And who gave her the present? Questions begin to swirl through my head. Yuma says, returning her magazine to the shelf and leaves. I mumble to myself as I watch her back. Understand? Birthday. Bang in the classroom once again. It's time for the next period. My mind wanders thinking about possible presents that Monika might like. So yeah, Okay, turns out you do act... Turns out this was a case, most likely a case of having to go for someone else's events in order to get to that route. Because I think the reason why I didn't end up getting her route was because I specifically didn't go do a... Because I went like the 4 Yuma events that were from like the 3 coffee events, and then the one where she's at the fucking where she's at the shoe locker at the shoe lockers with the fucking nails and the voodoo doll, I think. But yeah, and then the one where he crashes into her with his bike. That one also showed up, so that might have been a necessity for actually getting to Monaka's route proper. My wonders thinking about possible presents that Manaka might like. Classes happen every day, but birthdays only happen once a year. It's clear which one I need to worry about. Maybe some food. She's a pretty good cook already, though. Flowers are original. Accessories, I don't know what her taste is like. Cookware, I don't know anything about that, so I have no idea what you'd find useful. Besides, I've heard that giving women kitchen utensils is like telling them they belong in the kitchen. Ken must have the courage to ask her what she'd like. As I ponder this, I remember the package in her bag yesterday. I still don't know what it was. Was it from a guy? My heart can't bear that thought. I don't want to lose to him. I've never felt so competitive before. How about a book? I remember seeing a few translated books on military history on sale, but I'm sure she's already read them. The more I think about it, the more confused I get. It's tea time. My work has been going smoothly so far. Monaka's tea cakes aren't the only reason I'm here today. To check and go?
Oh, もう原稿アップしたから。
What was that stuff about again? Birthdays, right? What was that? Rather clever way of bringing up the topic if I do say so myself. Manaka nods. Suddenly her face grows
子
serious.
供の頃、誕生日にはどんなプレゼントをもらったことある？
I'm not sure how our conversation jumped to this point. It's almost as though Manaka read my mind.
子供の頃って本当に欲しいものをもらった記憶ってないの？
Yeah, I know how you feel. Adults don't really know what children want, do they?
私の場合、子供の頃からプレゼントといえばなぜか本ばかりで、他のものが欲しくても、マナカは本が好きだもんねと言われると何も言えなくて、それはそれで悪くはなかったんだけど、
Manaka's expression
3
clouds
日後
over.
同じ本が図書館に入っていて、それはショックだった。
Manaka sighs, breaking up steam wafting in front of her.
欲しいものっていくら似てても意味がなくなっちゃうのよね。
The truth is, I was thinking about books too. Crap, major blunder. Why couldn't I think of anything
お
else?
茶のおかわりはいかが？
Yes, please. I stare at Manaka's reflection in the teacup that she hands to me. While I don't think Yuma would lie about Manaka's birthday, wouldn't it be best to confirm with the person
お
herself?
待たせしました。
Thanks. I give him my thanks and take the cup. But how do I go about it? Is her birthday coming up soon? I'm out of ideas, so I decide to pitch straight at her. Like, for example, tomorrow? A direct hit. Manaka looks stunned.
どうして？
I just happened to overhear someone talking about it. She's too embarrassed to see through my blatant lie.
私そんなつもりじゃ。
In the end, she hides her face in her arms without managing to string her words
いい
together.
です。本当にいいですから。本当に。
Manaka eventually spots the empty crockery and dashes off with them, bringing her apologies to an abrupt end. I decide not to bring up the topic again. I apply barcodes in silence after having swapped places with Manaka for the second half of our work. Can't stop thinking about what I should get her. Come on, think. A clear strawberry bean jelly, jelly beans. For some reason, all I could think of was food. Occasionally, Manaka would pass by, avoiding my gaze. This too, please. Push out a pile of books. Manaka takes them, trying her best to look away. She looks seriously depressed. After loading the books onto her cart, she rushes back into the depths of the library. I notice a pile of dust on her shoulders, but it's too late to tell her now. She's probably putting up a good fight at the bookshelves. Without thinking, I rub my own shoulder. Wait a minute. Inspiration illuminates my mind. That's it, the perfect present. There's just one thing left to do. I push myself away from the table and head for the bookshelves. Can I speak with you for a moment? Monica seems shocked. I'm a nervous wreck, but it's now or never. You know, tomorrow. Do you want to go watch a movie after school tomorrow? Monica stops breathing. Starts to feel lightheaded. Sorry, I suppose you already have plans.
ありません、ありません。そんなの一つもありません。
Huh? Blurt out in surprise at her overzealous response. Man, our faces are really close right now.
すいません。
Monica retreats while apologizing. Alright then, so how about it? I feel a singing feeling in my chest as Monica retreats away. Does that mean she... She nods earnestly. I did it. I made a mental note to stop at the station on the way home today. Of course, it's to buy Monica's present. The best thing about living by yourself is that you can eat whatever you want. Whoops, skipping, I mean. Skippity, skip. I wasted, like, easily half an hour skipping through the entire fucking game again. It's too early to be using past tense. Hold on. Now it's my turn. It's finally time. Happy birthday. I hand her a paper bag. She looks extremely surprised, shocked even. I've never seen her eyes so wide open before. Large teardrops begin to roll down her cheeks. But what's wrong? Did I do something wrong? Upon seeing her reaction, Monica quickly corrects me.
違うんです。ごめんなさい。
She rubs her eyes with her hands, having forgotten all about her handkerchief.
ちょっとびっくりしちゃって。高明くんが映画みたいなことするから。
That wasn't what I was thinking of, but yeah.
ありがとう。
The present makes its way into the hands of its intended recipient.
ありがとう。
She hugs the package tightly.
開けるの、うちに帰ってからでいい？
Yeah, that's fine. I don't expect too much.
今から楽しみ。
Her face glows with happiness. She's holding onto it tightly. I'm worried she might crush what's inside.
あれ？
She starts prodding and feeling her way around the
2
package.
つ？
Looks like she noticed there's 2 things inside the bag. Kind of. I was hoping she'd opened it at home. Monica's blank stare forces me to confess reluctantly. Blueberry bagels.
どうして？
Well, falter. Is it really okay to tell the truth? I thought you'd enjoy some food. I'm sure she understood what I said, but she continues staring at me blankly. Is she angry? Oh, that didn't make her sound like a glutton. I timidly looked down at my feet. Her efforts to stifle her laughter are in vain.
高明くんらしい。
She holds her hand up to her mouth to try and resist herself, but fails miserably. Her body is squirming with laughter. It's not that funny. Monica trips over her bag and stumbles. A package I recognize falls out of her bag. This time it's my turn to let out a shriek. That's what I saw back in the library. Monica catches my eyes following it. She lets out a shriek, not unlike mine before, lapsing into silence. Both of us stare intently at the package on the ground. Who gave her that? What is it? I fight the urge to ask her directly. Finally, Monica slowly begins to pick it up.
プレゼントなの。
My mind blanks out momentarily as I look back and forth between the package and her face. Eh? For me? I point to myself. Monica nods with her face hidden. Eh? But, it's not my birthday or anything? Today's Monica's birthday, not mine.
で、
Monica turns away even further, her face
い
red.
つも助けてもらってすごく感謝してるのに、それを伝えるきっかけがなくて、どうしても言いたかったから誕生日は渡したけど、
The voice fades to a
気
whimper.
持ちは高明くんにありがとう。
Her words, barely a whisper, resound within my heart, louder as thunder. I feel a sudden pain in between my eyes. My voice is trembling. Thanks.
でも
Monica pulls this present back
ずっ
towards
と
me.
渡せなくて、作ってから日が経っちゃったからまた作り直す。
Is it perishable?
焼き菓子なんだけど、スコーン今度は自分で作ってみて。
That's more than enough. I'm glad you made these for me. That's the thought that counts. Monica blushes. After a moment's hesitation, she hands me the package once more, from one hand to another, with Monica's wishes riding on it.
じゃあ 今度のお茶の時間に食べよう。一緒に。
Yeah, let's get tummy upsets together too. We get back home filled with warm smiles and pleasant vibes. Skip. Now this time we actually get the route. What? 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 As I clumsily enter the archives, I freeze. Time grinds to a halt. With her uniform half off in her hands, Manaka stands there frozen in spot too. Eventually, she returns to her senses and opens her mouth in preparation for a scream. Sorry. I frantically dash back into the corridors and shut the door behind me. A muffled scream continues to pierce my soul as I lean back on the door to the archives. My heart raises like a jackhammer. What was that? I just saw a girl changing her clothes. That image of Monica has been burnt into my mind permanently. Underwear, skin, private parts. Huh, something's wrong. I'm sure that what I saw was bloomers. Her voice calls out to me from within the archives. I turn around and enter timidly. I nervously look around first to make sure she's dressed. That's right, Monica was just wearing her gym uniform. There really wasn't anything outrageous about that. We tried to convince ourselves of that fact to avoid blushing. Nah, instead of thinking of an excuse, I should apologize. I'm truly sorry. I should have knocked first.
私もすぐ見えるところで着替えてたのが悪かったんだから。
The words aren't enough to redeem me. It is my fault for not having an excuse after all. Sorry. I bow an apology.
気にしないで。単なる事故だし。
The gentle way of resolving the situation causes my heart to flutter. Now that I think about it, what I saw was just what everyone else would have seen during physical education. But when you add the movements associated with undressing, it's amazing how that can change things. Quick question, why were you changing from your gym clothes?
だってケープが汚れるの嫌だから。
Monica answers sourly, averting her eyes in embarrassment. Finally, in that situation, you should be more careful instead of worrying about your uniform. That's getting your priorities backwards. And though she nods, she doesn't really seem to be in agreement.
でも
Hurry up and follow.
はーい。
Although displeased, she ends up following me into the archives. Well, I wonder if she's gotten a present that she likes better. Fashionable and practical to wear while not drawing attention. This time I think I'm more or less on the right track.
どうでしょうか。
Ah yeah, that's the cape I know her from. Monica timidly makes an appearance with her cape on. I fall silent. Monica slowly begins to feel uneasy. Yeah, it looks cute. Upon hearing my judgment, Monica's eyes go wide and her face turns red. She struggles to hide her face with her hands.
そんなこと言われたら私。
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound so weird.
高明くんが謝ることないよ。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like that's the cape she also wears in Aqua Pazza. I think. Yep. Even her character image on the fucking wiki is just her falling over while wearing the cape. Special abilities, double jump. Performed by jumping again while in midair. This is a great mobility tool, especially considering how limited aerial movement is in Aqua Pazza. It's gonna get crazy. Monica's front step 6-6 is unique, and she'll actually begin tumbling ahead backwards. Depending on the attack you press during this action, you can perform different actions. A, B is a hip press in which Monica will ram her lower backside into her opponent. C, she lifts up her heels and does a reverse kick. Monica's 2B has guard point properties, so as if an opponent's attack should land while 2B is active, the move will go through the attack uninterrupted. That is supposed to be through, not throw, I feel. So it is impossible to counter your opponent's attacks. So it is possible to counter your opponent's attack string if you time it right in between guarding. Movement note: backdash 44 warning subtracts from your motion gauge rapidly. Make sure to maintain the distance gained. None of these tell me anything. Her specials are called stuff like, wait a minute, I didn't mean to, and retreat. Her supers are clumsiness, and that wasn't my intention. The splash art is called, don't call me the chairman. But yeah, that is the outfit that she usually wears. Hold on. There we go. Underneath her red cheeks, she doesn't seem as annoyed as I thought she
正
was.
直に言っただけだから。
She says, Monica does a somewhat dramatic spin on the spot to cheer her on. Suits you, you know?
かわいい。似合ってる。ダウングレード
Monica, your heart to blaze. Also, that's not a downgrade. Monica continues spinning around vigorously, oblivious to her surroundings. This seems to be a good time to stop for tea. Once the dust Monica kicked up has settled, of course. However, today I'm limiting our menu to the tea cakes Monica gave me. Steam rises from the teacups, obscuring our aimless expressions as we stare at the cakes.
やっぱりやめとく防腐剤とか入ってないし。
Today's tea cakes are those scones. Yeah, that's
そ
fine.
うかな。
We can take turns to run to the toilet.
そっか。
Glad we agree. Anyway, this is a present I received, so I'm obligated to take the first bite. Here goes. Pick up the scone. Monica watches intently with bated breath as I bring it towards my mouth. There's no backing out now. I'm past the point of no return. I bite off a lethal dose of the scone and begin estimating how many years I just knocked off my lifespan. I'm dying. Okay, I'm actually fine, so I continue. Monica hastily stuffs the scone into her cheeks too. Dova silently continue eating. They're alright, I guess?
多いね。
I quell the urge to rush off from his seat to the toilet. We soldier on, having forgotten the tea completely. Finally, we wash down the scones with a gulp of tea. Thanks for the feast.
いえいえ、お粗末様です。
Thanks for the yeast. Monica runs off to her, holding her stomach, trying but failing to seem inconspicuous. With tea time over, we begin the second half of the day's work. We do nothing but stick on barcode after barcode. So far, the waters are calm inside my
高
stomach.
木くん
Monica returns to the counter, pushing the cart, and lays down some books on her desk. As she does so, her eyes flick towards me repeatedly with a concerned look. Many times over, she opens her mouth, steels herself to say something, and closes it again. I don't know what she's trying to say.
今度は私から誘っていいですか
To what?
デート
Ah, having rendered me speechless, Monica frantically waves her hands in front of her face.
そんな期待されると
Reminds me, can I complain about something real quick? Today was the second time this week where I had to justify myself dropping Anzu's route and Clover Days. Because apparently some people just think doesn't like little sister routes isn't a fucking isn't a suitable excuse and, you know, death penalty. Like, I'm sorry you have to fucking deal with this right now, but I'm actually, like, kind of fucking upset about it. Why do I have to fucking justify myself for that? Like, people are uncomfortable with different fucking shit. I leave you alone if you want to be a fucking sister fucker that badly. So you fucking leave me alone when I don't want to. Alright? Like, what the fuck? Especially, like, hold on, you know what, fuck it. Let me just pull out, this was one of them. Imagine reading a fiction about romance between non-blood related brother-sister and it makes you think of your own sister. It's far creepier than the one who's fine reading it, someone says. Like, what kind of brain damage do you need to have there? It's called immersion. Being immersed in a story is a good thing. If a story isn't immersive, that, quite frankly, is something missing from the story. And again, why the fuck do I have to defend myself when saying I don't like that the MC and his sister are fucking? You know? Like, my issue isn't even just it's a little sister. People might not know anymore, since I took down my Chrono Clock videos, because of the whole Chrono Clock situation with Scott that got his channel deleted, where we found out that apparently Purplesoft is off limits now. But I actually kind of enjoyed the little sister route back then, but that's because it didn't hard focus on the fact, hey, you're fucking your sister. There's also the fact that they just straight up didn't fuck, sure, but that's beside the point right now. Like, it isn't hard focused on the whole, here's the fetish of you flirting with your sister. Like, blood-related or non-blood related doesn't matter. The point of these routes is always, here's the fetish of you being allowed to fuck your sister without anyone fucking complaining about it. And that is what I hate. Like, if the route was like a constructive, okay, these two siblings like each other, so they like try to essentially distance themselves from their familiar relationship because it is in the way of their romance, and have a conflict around that, that would actually be kind of interesting. In that way, I'm actually kind of fucking sorry that I grew this passionate towards Saku, because I would have actually been interested in doing that route. Because that sounds interesting. That sounds like a good story that is more than I want to fuck my sister. You see? Sorry that I had to go on a tangent like that. The only reason why I'm planning to do Yuzuki's route in Genido Haruka is because I know the writers and I trust them enough to where they probably won't pull that. Like, I don't think that it'll be like a bigger like conflict of them like that, but it very much, I very much have enough trust in them to where they wouldn't just do it for the sake of you get to fuck your sister. Like, I feel like they would actually try to do something constructive with it. You know? And there's even like the part in the story where, spoilers for one of the routes, I forget which one right now, where you actually are aware that the MC doesn't quite see his new stepmother as a mother, considering his own mother is still alive and literally living in the same fucking town. He's down to the fact that he actively still refers to her by name instead of calling her mother or something like that. And one of the routes literally has him finally open up to her and openly calling her mother, which was a very nice moment, by the way. So there is clearly a sense of he doesn't quite feel like that's family yet. So that could also be integrated in that. my point is, it can be more than you get to fuck your little sister, because that is just why. Where the fuck is the good story in that? You see? Like, sure, like, maybe, like, some of them can have, like, good stories aside from that. However, when, like, a large portion of the route is still dedicated to that, I'm still just gonna sit there, like, why the fuck do I have to read this shit? To get through something, to get through to something good. Like, it's the same fucking concept of, like, oh, no, watch this anime, it'll get good by season 5. You're still playing an entire fucking game and wasting multiple hours getting to this point. Why? Like, if we assume, like, an hour is 6 hours, when we assume a route is 6 hours, and like 3 hours of it are just dedicated to that bullshit, and the 3 hours afterwards are actually, like, somewhat good story, that's still, like, half the fucking content you get out of the route just being something we have to force your way through. Like, at that point, why? At that point, you'd just be sitting here, like, as if you played this game, at that point, you'd just be sit there forcing you through this, and then just yourself getting annoyed at that would just lower your enjoyment of the stuff that comes afterwards. And if you're the case of a person watching a VNtuber, Vision Love YouTuber, do you get off on seeing someone just sit there sighing and not wanting to play a game anymore? Just so you can say, hey, he's finished it? Because at that point, it's either you get off on it, or you don't care what the VN YouTuber thinks of the game, and you just want him to play the entire game so you can watch it on YouTube. And at that point, buy the game yourself. Like, if it's about reactions you want to see from someone that has played a series you like, well, him not enjoying the route and dropping it is his reaction to it. Quite clearly, he's not gonna have a positive reaction towards something that you would like to see a positive reaction towards. Like, in fact, one of them was literally like, oh, he finished annoying as Hekiru route, but didn't finish good Anzu. Hekiru's route was good! Like, Hekiru's route was good. There was an interesting conflict in there. Like, of a character that genuinely likes someone, but thinks that he would be happier with someone else. Like, dealing with, like, genuine self-esteem issues in that way. That was good writing, in my opinion. It was well made. Yet he's over here like, oh, annoying ass Hekiru route. Like, sorry I had to go off on tangent like that. And if anyone wants to complain how don't talk about me like this, why would you comment on a fucking public video about this where anyone can fucking see it? Quite frankly, the moment you do that, you open yourself to criticism. I open myself to criticisms on here, and I accept the criticisms. Then someone comes in here and says, how fucking dare you, but I'm not gonna fucking take it like that. I'm gonna fucking defend myself, logically. Anyways, I'm not nearly drunk enough to go on about this for any longer. Let's just continue. Manaka averts her gaze and imagines somewhere she'd like to take me. For some reason, her face seems rather desolate. And of course, be my pleasure. Yeah. Words are an enigma. He knows that she's returned to using honorifics again. I casually watch her return to the bookshelves once again. For some reason, her back seems expressionless, devoid of life almost. Looking again, clearly I see dust floating above her head. What if that cape means something special to her? Skip. It's already now after school has ended, with students and their club activities and calisthenics coming to an end. Cheers can be heard from the courtyard. I'm sure it is late. It sure is late. It's a lousy time to play dumb, so I sneak up and look inside the door of the archives. I did mean to go straight to the archives after class had ended, however I unintentionally fell asleep during the last class, and unfortunately today was my turn for cleaning duties. By the time I realized I was surrounded by the girls on duty with no sense of escaping, so that's how they got this late. There's no sign of anyone moving inside the archives. I softly opened the door and slid inside. I didn't need to hide any sign of myself till now, but I hate making an appearance out of nowhere, so I'm even consciously holding my breath. Monika's nowhere to be found. Ah, there she is. See Monika lean back in the armchair. I can feel the sound of footsteps and walk over to her. What? Monika's asleep. Monika stirs ever so slightly as though she senses someone. Still, she remains asleep, same as before. I don't intend to wake her up. I gently sit on the desk and quietly observe her. Watch her for a bit. I can hear her gentle breathing. She's definitely alive. It's different to when I first approached her. Monika's expression doesn't change. She really is completely unaware. There's not a care in the world on her face. What the heck? Get her like this. Initially, I was just watching her, but as I watch her face, I slowly get closer to her. She still doesn't notice. Lean forward, almost leaning over her. Monika's expression looks like the definition of peace itself. Is she sleeping well? If so, she probably wouldn't notice even more. For example, if my lips were to touch hers. No, just kidding. Wondering what I'm thinking, I move to not touch her, but then again, I get close to her face. Monika's breath is sweet. Even though I'm self-conscious of my cowardly actions, I can't help myself. On each second I get close to her lips, I realize I'm doing something terrible. But in a moment, I'll be able to touch her. No, I can't after all. I give up just before I reach her. I just had some duty sense knocked back into me. Even if the girl's not aware, I don't think stealing away her first kiss like this is respectable. No way, that's for sure. But it's hard to draw myself away from those puckered lips. I want to look at her from point blank range for a bit. Don't wake up just yet. Some unexpected response, I stiffen up. Even now I should probably pull back, leaning over her I still don't take my eyes off her. There's no sign of movement from her closed eyelids. Instead, her lips move slightly. Her cherry-colored lips come apart ever so slightly. Kakipi? What does that mean? Should I say breaststroke, not the dog paddle? That's how she swims? Kakipi? She woke up. Without getting up, Monika suddenly opens her eyelids. There we are, facing each other at point-blank range. Even though I should think of an excuse to move away from her, I keep staring at Monika at that distance and can't move. Even this close, I can still tell her expression changes. Monika slowly opens her eyes and her face gradually reddens. It's a surprise. Surprise, I tell you. Yeah, that's it. To open her eyes and suddenly see a guy's face. I wonder what my face looks like now. I don't know myself. For long, Monika's lips are trembling. Surely any second now she'll start screaming. But Monika's eyelids suddenly slam shut. Her face still reddening, her eyelids are closed tighter, seemingly strained to keep shut. Without saying anything or screaming, she squeezes her lips shut tightly. Could that possibly be she's giving me permission? But when I think that, I swallow deeply. But Monika's ears can't hear that. Her body's stiffening up for dear life. If she's going to put up such a brave front, I should do it. I really should. I gulp. My throat noise rings out once more. Again, Monika doesn't notice. Monika's lips tightening is extending deep into her mouth, her teeth now clattering. Seeing that, my lips also tremble and I slowly get closer and closer to her face. At the same time as the knock, the door to the archives opens. The change in the outside world is thrust upon us, in stark contrast to the slow movements. I jerk back to pull myself away.
ちょっといいかな
Hurry on! The 823 dictionaries, 825, the source is 825 grammar dictionaries.
何をやってるんだ君たち
Fill the archives from one end to the other with sound of working songs. This should leave no suspicion about our intent. We mimic each other's movements as we wipe our brows of sweat. Working hard without thinking of anything else.
その業務について話があるんだがこちらに来てもらえるかな
The nervousness abates slightly. Instead, the atmosphere changes completely to a gloomy one. Monika silently gets up from her chair. That was directed at me. Monika's expression fades and her shoulders start trembling. I don't want to go with him. I give only the slightest hint of that intention. But my determination shows otherwise. Okay? In response to my answer, Monika's eyes suddenly bulge open. The place we were called to in the library has no other committee members in it. Was he planning on trying to yet again convince Monika to change on her unmoving position on the work or something? However, the lack of other committee members seemed to make it all the more comfortable.
もう何度目になるかわからないけどね。
Contents of his discussion is no different. Advice to get out of the archives soon. Most of the discussion was between the library committee chairman and Monika. What's more is it mostly was unilateral advice from him with Monika listening motionlessly.
君のしていることに意味なんかない。正直なところ、こんなことをされても迷惑なんだよ。そもそも部外者が書庫の鍵を持っていること自体問題なんだけどね。
Monika listens with a troubled expression. However, by no means does she appear to be breaking, just tolerating the criticism slightly.
これは最後通帳だからね。こちらも予定が押し迫っている。来週中には蔵書の整理を始めなくちゃならないから。
Having heard this, what would be the reason for persisting in the archives? Monika's sinking expression is like no more than the wind and rain is just passing.
それが退去期限だと思ってくれて構わないよ。
Monika's attitude is baffling, but if he's looking at me, there's no sign of me supporting him.
分かったなら言っていいよ。
The moment the speech ends, Monika bows and departs. In the end, Monika didn't say a word. I turn on my heels to follow her. The moment I pass him, he murmurs into my ear.
最後まで口を挟まなかったね。
Do you want her to refuse? Ignoring the hint of offense he took, I returned to the archives. Back to the archives. Monika sinks back into the armchair, half turning it towards the window and looking out. I sit down speechless on the sofa and stretch out my legs and lie down. We both stare right where we are, my declaring my intent. But I don't want to leave Monika in this unpleasant atmosphere. I don't want Monika to feel lonely. With both of us making ourselves awfully comfortable, Monika starts talking bit by bit.
隠してたわけじゃなくて、言い訳にしかならないけど。
Doesn't mean I was looking for it. By no means would I turn this down, though. I slowly come to realize that this is the first time I'm hearing it from her mouth.
このために高明くんを利用したって思われたくなかったから、結局はそうなっちゃったけど。
Not at all.
ごめんなさい。嫌な思いさせちゃったよね。
I was the one who said I'd help you. Hearing the creaking from the chair, I clasped my hands behind my back, still laying down on it. Besides, it was heartbreaking to see you spoken to like that.
私は大丈夫だよ。本当のこと言われただけだから。
Monika shuts her mouth. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna blow my fucking nose, even though I'm terrible at it. You may be asking, how can someone be terrible at blowing their nose? I just am. Do not question me. Also, it is almost 10 p.m., so I did almost waste an entire half hour on skipping. Anyways. Emotions and the words differ. There's a time lag between her words and her attempts to bury it.
私ってそんなにいい子じゃないんだよ。
Her mumbling appears on all accounts to be her trying to convince herself.
人の嫌がることも結構するの。
Not at all. Right now, I want to emphatically refute her words as much as possible. But at this moment, I can't think of an example, and Monika would use that as a confirmation. She's just someone who you don't notice either at times of happiness or sorrow. She just can't bring herself to be in contact with people to fill her inner emptiness.
今までありがとう。
Her voice was calm, but she's gripping the handle of her armchair. It's far too awkward an action.
楽しかったです。
There's no strength in her words, yet Manaka must be the one suffering the most. Till now, she's only been looking out for me, trying to keep me out of it. She only looks out for other people. I don't get why she won't appeal to someone else about her sadness. Only use the past tense. I say strong words to try to appeal to her
だっ
heart.
てこれ以上は迷惑。
Don't decide that on your own. I'll be the judge of that. Why was she so insistent on them work in the archives? In the end, the fundamental part did not come out of Monika's mouth. If I could, I would reach in and seize it from Monika's heart directly, and constantly let out deep sighs. But you have a reason for what you're saying. Besides, I've started getting tired of this too. I struck a chord. Monika's shoulder starts shaking at my words. She keeps looking outside. Even though my decision making was over, the sadness has not changed. And what I was thinking was different to what Monika was expecting. It's Monika's habit to always think of the worst. Next, can we change places for the work? I'll stick the barcodes on again. Monika doesn't react. She keeps leaning back in the armchair, motionless. She's looking out the window, so I can't see her expression, but just from a small part of her face I can see, a smile appears from just a little. Looks like her eyes are closed.
ありがとう。
He squeezes that out as a murmur. Brightness again comes into the archives that had turned dark. Ow, 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 ow. Fell asleep on the chair. Whoops, hold on. Skip. The door to the archives is locked. Pull the door handle just to be sure, and my hand slips clean off the doorknob. Isn't Monika here yet? It was unusual for her. As I'm considering this, the pitter-patter footsteps approaches.
高木くん。
Ah! Monika's bawling her eyes out, and it wouldn't surprise me if her tears were landing on me.
ないんです。
What?
鍵。
Eh? As she sniffles, I take a glance at the door. Do you mean the key to the archives door? That's bad, especially now when the problem is so near. First of all, just calm down. Here. Hand over a handkerchief and Monika obediently wipes her tears away. As I wait for Monika to calm down, I can hear someone approaching from the library. Is it that guy coming? Gonna pick the worst time, I need to think quickly. I sense he caught his breath. None of us saying a word. We only exchange glances as I look for something off topic to say. Monika grips the handkerchief, hiding her face to give no indication that she was crying, but unable to hide her red.
今さら泣かれてもね。
Having said that, the library committee chairman can't leave fast enough. Seems like a very convenient time for such a misunderstanding. Once the chairman disappears, I turn to face Monika. Anyway, we have to find it before he finds out. Which route did you take
こ
here?
っち。
Monika points out the road here. We retrace her steps together down the corridor. The path is almost a direct route from the classroom, and both of us have our eyes wide scouring the corridor.
どうしてないの？隅から隅まで探したのに。
Monika raises her voice with her eyes getting bleary again. The handkerchief she grips tightly is already drenched with tears and nasal discharge, and she again starts dabbing it at her face. Maybe someone picked it up? He walked almost all the way back to the classroom from the archives and didn't spot anything like a key.
排水溝にでも落ちたんだよ。それで雨どいから下水に流れていって。今頃は川を下って海にどんぶらどんぶら。
The probability of that happening is astronomically low. Trying to remember what your first movements were.
どう動いたかって。
What did you do after class? Even though I don't mean to cross-examine her, Monika suddenly starts shrinking away.
言わなきゃダメ？
Even her voice fades away. Is there something she feels guilty about? Don't try and cover anything
授
up.
業中にこっそりと食べてたアーモンドチョコが
What? What's this truth she's suddenly spouting?
音がしないようチョコだけ舐めてたからアーモンドだけになって、それで干しぶどうを一緒に口の中に入れて。
No, you don't need to give me that much detail. No need to know what she was doing in
それ
class.
でノートとかしまって
What about after
の
that?
ど飴舐めて
Enough about the
レ
food.
モン味の。
Enough already.
それから教室を出てまっすぐここに。
There are some fundamental details missing there.
隣のクラス委員長と行事の話をちょっとした。でも途中で何かしたのはそれだけ。
Were you carrying the key in your hand at the time?
う
Doesn't look like she remembers well. Alright, then it might still be in her bag. Everyone's already left the class. Monica grabs her bag until she begins emptying the contents onto the desk. Having already done it, she frantically leans over the desk, covering it. Yeah. Watching her wide-eyed with keen interest, I reluctantly close my eyes.
カバンの中身は女の子の内臓も同然なんだから。
What a weird expression that is. Sounds of rummaging continues. The sounds of rummaging continue behind my back for a while. Is it there? Assuming it's okay, I turn around to face her. How about inside your pockets and so on? Monica defenselessly reaches into her uniform, turning over the contents of her pocket as she doesn't pull out the key. May not be on her. Is it tense which you can see in your secret student notebook?
秘密じゃないけど。ない。
I wondered at what moment in time it disappeared. Try to imagine Monica's movements from the classroom to the archives. All that comes to mind is her eating chocolate almonds, raisins, and cough drops. Hang on, cough drops. Monica, what did you do with the cough drop packaging?
高木くんも欲しいの？
I asked about the packaging. And when she was rummaging around in her pockets, she didn't pull out any packaging. So that means...
廊下のゴミ箱に捨てたかも。
That's it! The key was probably in her hand. Then Monica was probably gripping it in the same hand as the cough drop packaging and threw it in the bin at the same time. I'm sure that's what happened. She would have been close to the archives when holding the key in her hand. That only leaves the one rubbish bin that's close to the archives. So, we go back to the corridor and reach into the bin.
それは私が。
Don't worry about it, besides I've already put my hand in. There's no point in both of us getting our hands dirty. I stir up the garbage inside the bin. Since we're far away from the classroom, thankfully there aren't many organic things in there. Monica looks to be feeling quite disgusted. This would look bad if someone sees me. I want to get this done before anyone comes. Can't have been very long, so it must be near the top. Unless something heavy was put in its deeper end. Monica? Is there anything else metallic inside the corridor bins? Pull up my hand. That was elbow deep. Pinch to my hand is... See, Monica's reaction was enough to know that it was beyond doubt the key to the archives. Thank goodness. Perhaps because the despair was so deep, she's overwhelmed by emotion she can't even speak. Sure, don't cry anymore. Hand her the key, however Monica shows hesitation at taking it. This one seemed unexpectedly composed. With the problem solved and the key washed carefully in that neutral soap, we return to the archives. In front of the door, Monica thrusts her hands in the pocket and inclines her head. Monica's expression stiffens up at the blink of an eye. Monica starts feeding all over her body. Don't tell me. Not surprisingly, Monica turns pale. But how? You just had it! Monica cries while drawing a circle 1 meter around herself. Look carefully, your bag. You didn't open it again after finding the key. We didn't stop anywhere from the rubbish. We didn't stop anywhere from the rubbish bin to here. Surely it wasn't an annihilation phenomenon, considering the mass of one key from this world. What a dangerous thought you're muttering. We retrace our steps one by one. Be that as it may, it can't possibly be anywhere. Even assuming it was. The range of places it could be is seriously limited. There was nothing resembling a key anywhere in the front of the archives till back in the rubbish bin. Even assuming we did drop it, there was no crack it could have fallen into. Where on earth was it? Again, we recall our steps. We don't even pass the shadows of any people. The key must surely be within this area. Huh? People's shadows. People. I wonder if... Monica, jump. Monica tilts her head, then jumps immediately. I thought perhaps it was wrapped up in the folds of her skirt somewhere. Well, putting that aside, that wasn't the only reason I told her to tell her to jump. I'm not sure. Perhaps it's inside you. No, I mean inside your clothes. Do you recall putting the key in your pocket or something? I don't remember going into her bag. However, I also don't recall her putting it in her own pockets. Why did she put it to begin with? Aren't you only holding it? It could be up your sleeve or something. Monica peeks up her side sleeve. Her mouth gapes open as she does that. Wait, if you sway so awkwardly, letting out a strangely erotic voice, Monica stops moving.
中に
Looks like it's moved inside her uniform. I told her so. Shake yourself around a bit. Shake, shake. She starts shaking her hips in an odd way. Hold on. Hold on. You know I have to. Fucking ads. I have an ad block, by the way. Like, just tell you, I have an ad block. It just stopped working. Oh great, a fucking ad showed up. There we go. A weird ad showed up in the middle of me trying to unmute the video after muting it for the fucking ad. Anyways. Unconsciously look at the ceiling. It's not coming out. You may as well raise your arms and let it pass through your clothes. Monica raises both her arms as told and starts doing a little shake dance. She probably shouldn't be giving me detailed updates. Try not to go look everywhere else. Stop panicking. Getting overly excited, Monica gently raises her uniform. Her abdomen is completely exposed. What a cute navel. I'm consciously staring there. And it's not impossible to stare at my looks somewhere else. Monica goes red in the blink of an eye. That moment was the pinnacle. Both of us stare at the floor. I bend at the waist and pick up the key that fell out. Look, it came out. The key didn't have the cold feel of metal. Speaking of which, I was rubbing against Monica's surface. I unconsciously grip it tightly. Aggressive sidesteps! Ah! Suddenly, both of us jump out of our skins. I take half a step back. Prop up Monica. I lift my hand from my waist and reach out to grab something else. Without even realizing where I'm holding, Monica clings to my neck and returns to her huge tears. Monica! She doesn't care about her appearance anymore. Normally she'd be going pale by now, but instead she continues wailing. While I'm going red about the feel of Monica clinging to me, I slowly stop caring about the key. It takes several minutes for Monica's crying to peter out. When she returns to her normal self, she blushes at her action and does nothing but apologize profusely. I go hot in the cheek, remembering again the soft feeling. It's club activity time now, and the noise of various club activities is everywhere in the schoolyard and club rooms. Even inside the archives, the evidence of the accident is hidden, with a return to the usual silence. Monica and I are back to sorting the book collection as usual. Even more than usual, neither of us have any bright ideas for countermeasures, so we end up returning to nothing but our work as usual. Strong sound of something being moved left and right comes from beyond the bookshelf. True nature of the sound is that Monica is moving the stepladder. Even though Komaki is normally very quiet inside the secret base of the archives, she's very slick and noisy with each of her equipment as needed. With using her equipment as needed. Well, it's not the same as something being slow on land and fast in the water. A crashing sound. Hey, that was a huge sound. Are you alright? Doesn't sound so. Hastily circumnavigate the bookshelf. In the passageway are several blocks fallen over, and in front of them is the stepladder having crashed down. Furthermore, beyond the shelves was a mountain of books with Monica's bum sticking out of them. Are you alright? Are you hurt anywhere? Hastily approach her and give her a hand to get up. She doesn't look hurt. Monica smiles, not looking perturbed, and suddenly checks herself out to see. Looks like she's checking nothing but her cape. Having confirmed safety, Monica lets out a sigh of relief. But the stepladder is seriously damaged. Seriously damages an exaggeration, but the wheel is unsteady and would be a bit dangerous to go
あそ
on.
この棚を見たかったんだけど。
Even to someone of my height, that place looks high. There's no way to reach it. Not only would climbing the shelf be dangerous, but even piggybacking would make it possible to reach. Of course, Monica would be the one on top and me below. Imagining that someone makes me feel happy. Huh. I intentionally bulged my eyes at Monica's mumbling. Wasn't she just saying that we could do together? That would put her crotch behind my neck. That would be a bit awkward. Still, if Monica's alright with it, then I don't really mind.
平気じゃないけど。
Monica embarrassingly puts her fist in front of
で
her
も
mouth.
他に方法ないし。
She barely squeezes that out of her mouth. Monica blushes and looks
お
away.
願いします。
Okay. Monica bashfully fidgets while I move behind her. Is it really alright? I stare at her skirt and hold my breath. It'd be fine, of course, she says herself. Squat down behind her. Spread her legs a bit more.
足？腕じゃなくて？
Monica reflexively looks behind her. Realizing my face is just behind her backside, she pulls down her skirt over her bottom.
なに？なんで？どうして？
Don't you want to pick... Am I wrong?
違う。
Monica violently denies it while demonstrating holding her
高
arms
い
out.
高いです。
Alright. Hang on. Isn't that a bit too much? A bit much too? Looking like she realized it too, she suddenly becomes silent. Well, we both looking at each other, nervously fidgeting. Before that, you should probably take your cape off. You don't want to rip it. Then, without any great meaning to it, Monica obediently follows my instructions, her expression feverish. Then she hangs her head and turns to face
じゃ
me.
あ、お願いします。
Is it really alright?
本当に上がってる。
How rude. Really, this is nothing. I say, though I'm oddly having difficulty breathing. However, it doesn't really look like that. I'm pretending to be much stronger than I am as I hold her up. Holding her by the armpit tightly, Monica's breathing also is wavering suspiciously. My fingers are digging deeply into her armpits. My fingertips are right near the softness of her breasts. No, the feeling of the grip is nearly the same as Monica's bulge is wet.
その指がなんだか。
If I don't hold you tight, you could fall badly. I say that, but I'm flustered myself. Only the words come out firmly. It's just like Monica for me to be able to easily explain it away. Ticklishly, embarrassingly, nervously, Monica reaches out with all her might to the targeted bookshelf. But given how firmly I'm holding onto her armpits, she can't reach out all the
もう
way.
ちょっと上げてもらって。あと少し右。そのくらい。
Yeah,
大丈夫？
just I'm close to my limit to enjoying the sensation. In order to hold her body up firmly, I find unusual strength for the task. Right there in midair, Monica's body suddenly shudders. Did it touch your breast or something?
そのちょっとくすぐったい。
He says while rubbing her thighs together. Is she just barely coping? Hurry up and get it over with! With a fighting spirit, I once again raise her further. With the body squirming uncomfortably, she puts on a brave front to reach out to the top of the shelf. The sound of something hard on the shelf comes from above. Then Monica immediately raises her voice.
あれ？下ろして下ろして。
Reluctantly losing the sensation from the palms of my hands, I put Monica back on the floor. Monica, who'd been tightly holding onto the armpits off, goes red in the face again and breathes heavily. Still unsteady on her feet, she is leaning over slightly for balance. She says and runs out of the archives with the little steps. Yeah, the unusual stimulus would have been agony. She's probably going into the toilet. Well, no, I should pass on making a comment. Skip. Even though today's Sunday, I've come to school to meet up with Monica. Today's agenda, strategic plans. With club activities and so going on, the school gate is open even on days off. However, the archives door isn't open. The library's open though, so for the time being I'll hang out around here. Wandering around aimlessly, I end up camping out at the magazine corner of the library. There are heaps of manga left behind in the library, and the one I picked up now is one of them. By sheer coincidence, the page I randomly opened to has someone accidentally grabbing a girl's breast. As if. I think to myself while still enjoying it. Even though my eyes are glued to it, I'm worried about Manaka. She's not the kind of person who shows her distress openly. Would you avoid people's scrutiny and cry now too? Now what should I do? She hasn't shown up yet. With the irritation pressing me, I change magazines more and more frequently. After who knows how many magazines, while scanning over some weekly publications, I notice something and flick back to see it. I again read the article about some event overseas, then grab that magazine and dash out of the library. This time it's unlocked. I ran into the archives and waved the magazine while looking for Manaka. Manaka! Got it! She's eating something. She puts her hand on front of her mouth frantically. News! News! Hurry up and swallow! You're still playing dumb? Doubtfully, Monica scans over the magazine I've handed over. Yes, there appear to be plenty lying idle in the primary school library, and in England, lucky dips are really popular. In an old archive like this, shouldn't there be at least one rare book still lying around idle? If we were to find something like that and sell it, couldn't we buy new bookshelves? If we did that, they wouldn't need to dispose of the books in the archive. Although she's contradicting me, she still thinks about it. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Yeah, of course. But what about selling them at an auction for 15 million yen?
狙いを定めてかかるのは難しいから、比較的新しいもの、絶版からまだ間がないものを除外していき、探す棚を絞っています。
Tap tap tap. Monika's typing on the keyboard is so fast her fingers are blurring.
作者が亡くなったもの、出版社が存在しないものは特に注意してください。
I don't remove my eyes from the display.
こんなことなら打ち込みを先に済ませておけばよかった。
She mumbles to herself, tears off the printout and hands it to me.
リスト。
Monika beams. I'm crawling along on my knees on the path between bookshelves, looking along the floor. As I'm examining the bookshelves, Monika's footsteps can be heard pacing the room restlessly.
後ろ通るよ。
Okay. I'm crouching down on the ground. Monika squeezes behind me like a flounder and passes me. I'm searching the archives in accordance with the list, and Monika's racking her brains, thinking what's not already on the list, scouring around the book collection. Monika seems to have sprung back into life, probably because of the mission. Even though she was down here before, it's great to see her so lively again. It'll be great if things all turn out well with this.
通るよ。本持ってるから頭。
Wee wee. Having progressed, I'm now half bent over and duck my head. The pile of hardcover books passes over my head. That reminds me, I remember yesterday's incident. Felt so soft. Absentmindedly, the sensation on my palm returns to me. My fingers were ever so close to Monika's breasts. Thinking about my fingers gripping her by the armpits. Damn it, work. Yeah, I half-heartedly answer and reach my hand out to where I was looking earlier. A soft sensation. I feel. Both of us stop dead in our tracks. It takes a while to realize just what's going on. When I turn around to look, I realize I'm grabbing Monika's boob in earnest. This time for real. Even though I did it completely intentionally, I managed to unreservedly feel it. Being completely by accident, it happened so suddenly that neither Monika nor I had time to react. Finally, Monika lets out a tiny squeak. Impossible. My mind shouts. However, despite it happening right in front of Monika's eyes, I continue doing it. Sorry.
だからその手が。
Yeah, sorry. With my fingers and palm firmly pushing down, I can't move my hand. However, the soft sensation completely overwhelms all my senses.
私のその胸。
Continue pushing with my sweaty palm. Yeah, I half-heartedly answer in a frantic Monika.
高木君、その胸触
Huh?
高明くん、指が、指、これ、高明くんの
Yeah,
やつ。
fingers.
違う。指が、私の胸。
Monika's gaze drops down again to confirm that her breast really is being felt. That is right. If I put more force into my fingers, our relationship would have changed. Monika jerks herself back and unconsciously squeezes my fingers. Monika notices that action through her breasts. With Monika's reaction, I finally recover my senses. Ah! I frantically pull my hand away. Still half bent over, I look up at Monika and gulp deeply. I cannot believe what I was doing. I was surprised. With my sudden remark, Monika stares blankly and frantically bows.
ごめんなさい、驚かしちゃって。その、胸触られてごめんなさい。あれ？
Not surprisingly, even I tilt my head in confusion. No, sorry, well, I was pretending to show her my palms. When she notices how taken aback I am, our eyes meet directly and we both blush. I know it won't be enough, but I'm truly sorry. Monika seems taken aback by my earnest apology and becomes flustered.
いや、その、私大丈夫だから、そんな平たくならないで。
I start to object, but
それに、別に嫌じゃなかったし。
I jerk my head up in response to her comment. That was far too big to ignore. So does that mean? In other words, gulp gulp, an instrumental duo of gulps. Does that mean it's okay to do it? I only asked that in my head.
いや、その。
Now, I want to... The moment our eyes meet, we have a mutual understanding.
違う、その。
Monika rapidly takes a few steps back. The moment Monika steps back, she hits a bookshelf with her back and a heavy hardcover book falls off. A direct hit on Monika's head. My eyes widen at the incident. Are you alright?
いや、大丈夫、大丈夫。なんでもないよ。
Monika puts on a forced smile and waves her hand at me. She doesn't look injured. All in my chest, it's a sense of relief. Monika holds her head. Both of us force a smile, looking at each other.
本当に問題ないから。
Thank goodness it isn't serious.
そうだね。
Both of us laugh with hoarse, dry-sounding voices. We take the opportunity to silently agree to ignore the breast-touching incident. We both return to work as though nothing happened. However, an uncomfortable silence separates us, because it's not true that nothing happened. Right from the beginning, I've been trying to dissociate myself from it, but all I could do was think about the incident with Monika's breast, and I'm making no progress with the work. I got to know one part of Komaki's body. No, why am I reverting from Monika to Komaki? Stop it! Stop it! Concentrate on work. Still, quite aware of being defeated. Whether I think about it or not, I'm completely aware of Monika's body. Feeling a sense of impulse welling up within me despite trying to immerse myself in the work, I look up and search for Monika. The moment I look up, Monika's and my eyes suddenly meet. We both stiffen up, staring at each other. Cold sweat runs down my back. This is embarrassing. Anyway, should I say something? Nothing comes to mind. Felt really good? What the heck am I saying? Both of us are now blushing to the extreme. Somehow it takes quite a long time for the memory of Monika to fade from my palm, and it's almost time to go home. The curtain by the side of the window flutters slightly, flickering a maddened red color. Despite the numerous verbal gaffe and reckless actions, we both returned to normal on the surface. However, somehow or other, it probably gave us no time to worry about other depressing things.
高明くん。
Huh? After a while, despite getting bloodshot eyes from the search for a valuable rare book, Monika, who has been silent all this time, speaks in a surprisingly calm voice. There was a short pause after she called out. She hesitated about
正
something.
直なところ、CD って聞いて、ちょっと気持ちが揺らいだでしょ？
She was talking about the library committee chairman's plan to use this place as CD storage. Yeah, I want to understand why.
もう、否定してよ。
Monika shows a little displeased. What? Even across the bookshelves, I could imagine her puffing her cheeks out. Both of us stop working, and I lean with our backs on the bookshelf between
よ
us.
り望まれる形に、か。
Sigh leaks out between the cracks of the
みん
bookshelf.
なが望んでることって聞こえはいいけど、図書室の役割ってそういうことじゃないと思う。 なりがたいものの手助けをしてこそなのに。
For
個
example?
人で負担するには高価な本とか手に入りづらい資料とか。
Now, if you think logically about it, that's true. If you leave manga and CDs out of it, they'll buy them themselves. If you just give them what they desire, it won't be that useful. Malleable things often aren't like that. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing manga in the library. But if that means there won't be other books, that's getting your priorities wrong.
今探しているような本も大勢に望まれたものだけが大切な世界だったらきっと残っていなかったと思う。
To be a book that could be sold at auction, it could even be a trivial children's book that has only been seen once. Some that has a different value due to the era. Even if it's just that, it should be enough. But even if we talk about it, that won't make us find it. A natural pause and discussion ensues. After a moment's silence, Manaka speaks.
嘘って怖いよね。
What Manaka mutters is something different to what we've been discussing, but seems to be tied in. I'm not sure how she meant it. Why did she suddenly say that, I wonder?
知らないうちについていて気がついた時には手遅れになってる。
Then she faltered.
私も臆病で嘘つき。
What was she thinking in that silent moment? Everyone's like that, you know. My attempt to console her was in vain. She doesn't answer. I can just make out that she's shaking her head behind my back. In the end, we didn't find any valuable items that day and left to search for another day. On the way back, we confirmed the bookshelves are sturdy and can be climbed. Why did Manaka say that? Even as the distance between us narrowed, my doubt decreased by the night as the night wore on. Alright, I'm gonna end it here for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and see you next time. Bye bye.